I wanted to talk today about waking people up, and your place in it. So for me, waking up has been a two-pronged process. Firstly, the way I arrived at the point I am now to be a follower of Christ and a lover of truth. And a follower of truth was, firstly, I found out that the world is a lie, and it's run by liars, and it's run by evil people doing evil things. Once you've got to reach that point where you accept it as all true. They're not conspiracy theories. They are attacking the people of America now. All these mass shootings and everything, they're all just fake. They're all just part of an agenda. And the human race, by nature, are good people. They're driven to do bad things because of the system they live in, money and all that. You've got some people in the world who are genuinely bad. They're under the spell of Satan, the 33% of the fallen angels, all that sort of stuff. But I believe people are inherently good. And on the street, I see no sense at all. I see no evidence at all that people are at loggerheads about the issues that are portrayed in the media. You know, gay marriage, abortion, race wars, any of this sort of shit. People are not arguing about it, maybe because they can't discuss a lot of things, I don't know. But there's not a lot of conflict on the street. The only conflict you see is on the TV. So there's that. So with the whole, like, I'll put it to you this way. So you can't just walk up to people and go, wake the hell up. I see it all the time on YouTube. I used to see it all the time on Twitter, and people would just say to me, before I was a follower of Christ, they just say, you need to love the finder of Jesus. And it's just like, I don't even know what you're saying. It doesn't resonate with me. I've got no idea. So there's two things here. So one of my previous job, I was a team leader in a call center. So what I'd do is I'd have 15 agents who would answer the phones, they'd talk to customers, and I would be their leader. Now, one method I used to use for new inductees, so sometimes you get a full, fresh team of new inductees, other times you might get one or two come into the team at various times. They'd backfill the team. Now, one of the common themes I used to find with agents was that they were, I'm so frustrated, everybody knows what they're doing and I've got no idea and haven't got a clue. On their first day, I would say to them at their smoko break, I'd just say, okay, are you in a better position now than when you were at 8 o'clock when you started? And they go, yes. And I go, let's not worry. Let's not worry about what you do know. Let's worry about what you've learned. Now, same thing, I check in at each coaching I do with them, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I drop in on them every day, and I'd keep reiterating the same message. And so many people come back to me in the years to come and went, thank you, Brett. I'm so glad you did that. I stopped being hard on myself. I found the next call, it was just an opportunity to learn. And it's the same thing with waking people up. You can't just give them the jugular. You can't just come at them and just say 9/11 was an inside job. You've got to understand where they're coming from. It's a bit like when you talk to kids. When you talk to the little ones, you always talk from their perspective. You tell them what they want to hear to an extent. So you talk on their level, what appeals to them. Because if you're not doing that with children, you're not going to resonate with them, and they're not going to hear you, and you can't have conversations with children. I have terrific conversations with children all the time. I find that they draw to me, they enjoy my company, and I enjoy theirs in small doses, because kids do irritate me after a while. But you know what I mean? You talk to them on their level, on a level that's going to resonate with them, not with you, not with the agenda you're trying to push. And it's the same thing with waking people up. So again, there's two prongs to waking people up. There's Christ and there's the world. Now, for me, I could be wrong because I'm only a babe in Christ, so I could be wrong here. But my understanding is I can't possibly see how you can truly be walking with Christ if you don't fully know what's going. Well, not fully know, but you don't have an understanding of what's happening in the world, who runs the world, and why they run the world, and who owns it. Because if you don't have an understanding of the scriptures, because it was outlined clearly in the scriptures. So correct me if I'm wrong here. I never want to be one to question someone's faith, but I just shoot from the hip and say what I feel and what I see and what I feel God's compelling me to say. So don't throttle them. Don't grab them at the neck and go, wake up. You've got to do it gradually, small pieces. Just tell them what. Don't criticize. Just put in a little nugget. I do that. You just put in a little nugget of truth where they just go, they might talk about something. You know, I was at work the other day and they all started talking about, you know, conspiracies and all that. It all just come up, and there was a couple of people that were into it, you know, and one of them said, oh, you know, that Alex Jones is fabulous. And I'm like, you know, I thought, how do I've got to respond to this, because this guy's on the right path by being where he is. I saw in a video there yesterday, there's many, that was Matt from Quantum Conscious. He said there's many ways. He said there's many ways to find truth, and one of those ways is through the political system. Once you find conservatism, that's how I found my way. Through being, I was a conservative there for a while when I was involved in the political system. Not now. I'm just a follower of Christ now. But that's one way they can do it. So he was talking about, and that's who this Alex Jones appeals to, the crazy conservatives, the conspiracy theorist conservatives. And I said to this bloke, I just said, look, I said, just be careful who you get your information from. That was it. I don't have to convince him there, because this guy's got enough nous. He's got enough ability to get to the point of Alex Jones. He's asking enough questions, and I just put that seed in, because if somebody had done that to me, many channels that that I got lots out of when I was waking up, but I've now found that they are controlled opposition. Most of the time, you end up in the Freemason pit. But if you've got eyes to see, ears to hear, and you keep growing in your journey, you will cast these channels and these voices aside. So I heard many voices, and if I had have heard a voice say that to me in those early days, well, I did. I actually had a guy who was helping me, helped me through all this at the start, because it was quite harrowing, and he was the one that planted the seeds in me. He would occasionally say things, and I would just, I remember he said one day to me, he said, you know, Hitler was in on it and he went rogue. And I went, what are you talking about? And I wouldn't have it. And I thought, is this where we're going to divide? Is this because everybody in religion divides at some point? Is this where we're going to divide? But no, it turns out he was right. And we still have contention on a few issues today. Me and this fella, we're still the very best of friends. We still have contention on a couple of issues, but he every time he comes to be right. So I don't know about this time, because it's about Donald Trump, and to me he's just in on it. So to me that's the key. You see opportunities. So you don't you kind of look for opportunities, but you don't create them when they're not there. You may see a comment on social media. You have conversations all the time, but you go in when you're truly in the body of Christ. Every time you have a conversation with somebody, you're doing it through that prism. You're doing it through that paradigm, that you are talking through Christ. You're Christ's representative. You're one of his ministers, and you look at it, and sometimes there'll be no opportunity. Other times you will see an opportunity, you will take it, and they won't want to hear, so you need to dust off your feet. Other times they will hear, and you get to say a second thing, and every now and then you get to say a third, fourth thing, and you get to have a conversation. And you may even befriend that person and help them with their journey. To me, that's the key to it. Be patient. That's one thing the Lord has taught me in my journey, is to be patient. I'm always like a bull at a gate. As soon as I'm new to something, as soon as I find something new, I have to do it all now. Or it has to be all now. It can't wait. It can't be later. I have to know everything now. And God just talked to me one day. He just talked to me one day and said, Brett, you've learned a lot, but you need to slow down. And I'm so glad he did, because now it's just coming to me every single day. I'm growing, and I'm learning how to have these conversations. I'm learning how to avoid conversations with people who don't want to hear, because then you just strain friendships, you strain relationships with family and loved ones if you continue to push. And you just have to keep learning. Don't be stubborn. There's got to be times where you're going to go, because if you're not prepared to learn and admit you're wrong, that means you know everything now, which you don't. I don't. I'm nowhere near it. So that means I'm going to get things wrong, and I'm going to just realise I've recently done it with the Jews. I've had a real big lesson in the last sort of 2 weeks about the Jews, who they really are. Potentially I could be one. I don't know. But you just got to keep an Israelite. That's what I'm talking about. An Israelite, not these imposters in Israel now. I'm talking about a true Israelite. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking into it. But you just don't know. You don't know everything. you hardly know a thing. So don't be stubborn. And this is what Jesus and God talk about. Well, this is what Jesus talk about. They'll be humble. You know, it's not about being piss weak. It's not about being submissive. It's about being humble within your heart and having that heart open enough to keep learning, to keep filling your lamp with oil, and just keep growing in the body of Christ. So draw your energy from him, guys. We are in dark times. We are in dark times. We're in a period of history now where government is clearly attacking people, trying to reduce the population, trying to build their utopia on earth. And those of us that are we the remnant? Are we that precious remnant? I feel like it right now. I feel like a lone voice in the wilderness, but not anymore. Thank you for these comments you've been making, people. Been getting a lot more thumbs up lately. It's very encouraging. It's part of why I keep going on this channel. And now I'm hearing voices. I've heard from about 3 or 4 different voices now, who are in the body of Christ, who understand what I'm saying. They're at the same point. So we're out here. We're right. We're immersed in truth, and we will be victorious with Jesus Christ. Stay strong and blessed to you all.